Now we're back in the kitchen with bread making extraordinaire, Fritz Schoon. Now he is about to show us how to turn the dough that we've just made into 2 delectable breads. Now, I'm already smelling smells of home, scents and aromas of home.
You know why? Because we're about to do something that I know everyone loves. You love ujeqe, whether it's, you call it ujeqe, sonka samanzi, steamed bread, dombolo. That's what we're about to make right now with that dough that you actually made a little earlier. So we've made the bread, and we obviously need to allow the bread to prove. Is there such a thing as over-proving your bread dough, you know, if you're making bread? Is there such a thing?
Absolutely, there's such a thing. Yeah, and you'll see it. If it starts dropping down, that's normally an indication that it's either gone too far. So you can revive it by shaping it in a ball again and give it an opportunity to prove again. But over-proving, you can just push that far until it gives you sour flavors.
Okay, but as you can see, SA, before I even go into knocking the air out of this one and rolling it into our steam bread, you can actually see the air bubbles in there showing you that the yeast did go to work and created the aeration that we need in our bread. And now I've got some of the bread, the dough that we made earlier, and I'm going to be using it to steam in our pot here. But you'll be making some bread rolls for us that you'll also be doing in the oven. So I just want to show people how I would normally make the steam bread. So Pali, we've got our dough that we've proved up, and we gave it some time to, you know, activate that gluten and do all those things. But now it's time for us to put it into our, you know, pot to steam. Some people like to do it in the oven. Some people like to do it on the stovetop. I personally prefer the stovetop because it's as if I can keep an eye on it better, but there's a certain sound that it makes once it's bubbling in there that you know it might be time. But normally we would give it about an hour just for the bread to do its thing. Do not open the pot. Do not do anything. Once it's in here, as you can see, this is it. I'm not doing anything else to it. Drop it inside of the water. And before I proceed with this mission, I make sure to cover my lid, because what happens is the condensation that happens with the water in there will create droplets on the lid. And if I don't have something to catch it, it'll make the bread itself soggy on the top, and we don't want that.
Wow.
Otherwise, you could just put this contraption that I put inside in a plastic bag, then seal.
Thank you.
I
was going to say, you know, being in the Afternoon Express kitchen, it shows you the bougie ways of getting around doing the same things that you do at home. And at home, we just take an ordinary shopping plastic bag, you know, the ones that you do not throw away. Fun way of recycling them. You put the dough in, you tie it up, you pop it in there. It makes sure that there's no water that will escape and get go inside the actual steam to create that steam. Yeah. And now on your side, Chef, you're going to be creating butter rolls.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's basically the dough that we've used before. Now, you could have incorporated butter from the beginning, which we didn't do, but we're going to use a touch of butter in the inside of the pan to create our releasing agent, as well as a brush on top to give it that beautiful golden color, but it's also going to be like your bread has been buttered already a little bit. Alrighty, so we're going to take this out. And I love Tumi was talking about proving, and what's beautiful about yeast is why they call it proving is when you see the air pockets, it's proving the presence and the activity of the yeast, which is quite nice. So I'm going to flatten this dough out just very quickly. Now, as I said, a critical part of equipment in your baking kitchen would be a thermometer to regulate temperatures. The other one is, of course, a scale to work as accurately as you can. But today, I'm going to do it as if I would at home. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and shape our little balls. Now, you can do this in the palm of your hand if you want to. So what I do is I'm trying to create like tension to the dough, so it's almost like shaping it again, as what you did on your wooden board there.
I'm going to try it. I'm going to get a piece
go for it.
Actually try to do that with you.
And ultimately, I'm bringing the bottom corners all together so that it's going to give us the full volume of the dough.
You know, I'm loving the fact that we are using our hands in the kitchen, because at home, that's essentially how we go about creating that magic. And you might have paid attention to me. See, I would be joining you guys, but I'm actually standing in arms for a very, very important cause. Now, this Blue Glove Initiative is a concept that intends to create a stroke awareness symbol that will be recognized all over the world. So a lot of different causes, a lot of different campaigns have a lot of different identifiable factors, and stroke awareness is all about the blue glove. So today, as an able-bodied person, I'm going to commemorate with all those stroke people who've recovered rather from strokes, not use my hand, what you guys, and see how you create these balls.
All right, now I want to say something. I might be doing something wrong here, because you can see the lumpiness on mine, but yours is very smooth on the outside.
So I do make use of a touch of flour on the right hand, and it just creates a little bit of smoothness. But also, if you've done this a million times, it does help a little bit.
And what are the baking times on these batter balls? And also, Tumi, on your side, you said that's just the steamed bread, 1 hour.
I'd like to give it an hour safest, yes.
15 minutes is a good time. We want to do two things. We want to caramelize the exterior of the bun. We don't want to dry it out. So you want to go quick and quite hard. And that's going to create that moisture, you know, just that longing that you want, that soft bun.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to go for. So basically what we've done here, try not to work on a surface, we're going to pack these rolls. And as you've seen, they're a little bit all over the show in terms of sizing, which is not ideal, but I think, you know what, at the end of the day, it's about having fun, it's about eating delicious bread, and it's not so much about the technical details, which I sometimes, you know, make a big point of.
Absolutely. Do not be too hard on yourself, Mzansi. So as Fritz butters the tops of those buns, making sure that they're nice and golden brown, if you would like to get your hands on this recipe, simply head over to afternoonexpress.co.za. But we are not done with our bread making masterclass. We might turn things into a little bit of a sweet direction coming up.